Hello guys, welcome back to the series Introduction to Python. In this video, we will discuss how to write the user-defined functions with parameters. So, when to have user-defined functions with parameters. If you want to pass information into the function and use it inside the function to alter the behavior of the functions, we use the parameters. So, this is the syntax for the user-defined functions with parameter. It starts with the keyword def and it is followed by a function name. Inside the parenthesis, we pass the parameters. We can have how many ever parameters we want. Then we have a statement block. This is where we mention the operation that this function is going to perform. And then we have an optional return block. Now we will look into an example to have a better understanding how the user-defined functions with parameter works. So this function is without a return statement. So we are defining a function called sub, which is having two parameters called s1 and s2. Inside the function, we are performing a subtraction operation. We are subtracting s1 minus s2, and we are assigning it to a variable called subtract. And we are printing the statement called subtract. Let's run this function. So we have defined the function. Now we can call the function using the function name sub. So inside the parameter, we need to pass two values, value for s1 and s2. Based upon the value that we provide inside the parameter, our function behaves. For example, let's pass the value 5, 2. So what we are doing is we are assigning the value 5 to a variable s1 and we are assigning the value 2 to the variable s2. So inside the function, we are performing subtraction operation. We are subtracting 2 from 5 and assigning the final output 3 to a variable called subtract, and we are printing it out. So if we run this line, the Python interpreter will display an output as 3. Let's check this out. And yes. So the advantage of having a parameter is that you can change the value whenever you want. For example, if I want to subtract 10 from 5, I would just pass the value 10 for the value s1 and 5 for the value s2. And if I call the function, the final output 5 will be displayed. Let's run this program and check this out. So now I haven't changed anything inside the function, whereas I'm changing the value input which is given to the function. So the function behaves differently. So this is the advantage of having a parameter. It gives you more control over the functions. Now let's run the program with the return statement. I'm just copy pasting it to save a couple of minutes. So we are defining a function name called subnew, and instead of print statement we have included the return statement. Let's run this program. And since we have defined the function, we are calling the function using the function name and passing the variable 5, 2. If you call this, if you run this program, the Python interpreter will call a subtract new function and perform the operation and returns the final result, which is going to be 3. Let's run the program and check this out. And the result is 3. If you guys noticed, both the functions with the return and without the return is displaying the same result 3. Then what is the use of the return statement? So if you guys use the return statement at the end of the function, so the output from the function can be used as an input for another operation. So that is the use of return statement. If you don't have a return statement, we can't use the output of the function as an input to another operation. This is the reason we use the return statement. So if you have user-defined functions with parameter, it gives more control over the functions. I believe you guys understood how the user-defined functions with parameter works. See you guys in the next video.